Hey guys, it's Mathel here, and today I have the build/guide video for the Tempest Dual Claw Crit Ele BuzzClaw Ranger that I was playing, which was doing quite well all the way through the Tempest experience. Um, uh, the Ele Spectral Throw Crit. Uh, um, The Buzzsaw Ranger was doing just great on Tempest until it had its journey ended due to unforeseen circumstances. But the point being here, Spectral Throw is actually still somewhat viable. The main problem with Spectral Throw, as I see it, is it's not really a build for everyone anymore. It takes quite some gear to make work, but not necessarily expensive gear, just specific gear. The Buzzsaw crit and non-crit version of old was basically up to Aura's gem levels and the passive tree to find strength in the build, whereas now you kind of need some pretty solid gear that has, your claws, your weapons. They need good attack speed, good crit, they need lots of good elemental damage. And your rings need wed, they need elemental damages. You need good accuracy, you need good crit multi, crit. It's all kind of just come together in that the build still works and it will still perform fairly well, but you need the specific gear to make it work. As well as that, 4-link probably won't be cutting it these days, and your defenses, pretty much same as it's always been, run around, dodge things, and it works as long as you don't play too aggressively, as some people might start of the video. Anyway, so we got up to level 77 or 76, I believe, on Tempest. It was a pretty decent leveling experience, same old buzzsaw action. Just had to buy a few pieces of gear as I leveled up, because you won't be playing this one self-found, unfortunately. Doing anything up to 72 maps was fairly comfortable for my character, and in total it cost roughly an exalt to build. I'll show off the gear just a little bit later. And this is just a bit of a novelty. I came into a Tempest that turns your projectiles into what that one unique does. Projectiles coming in from around you. And as much as it looks really fun and really cool, it's kind of a novelty for the Spectral Throw build. You don't really want to be in the middle of anything shooting blades. You kind of want to sit back and control your projectiles in an orderly fashion. But it's a pretty fun Tempest to find, and probably one of the only fun Tempests I actually found in my time on Tempest. As far as links go, I was using the usual Spectral Throw, LMP, Blood Magic, faster attacks, and weapon Ele damage. That translated into 16k DPS, which is roughly what my old Elemental Buzzsaw non-crit had with perfect gear. So with level 17, 18 gems, only at mid-level 70s, and about an exalt's worth of gear, I did achieve better than what the non-crit version did a good year ago, so that's already a good start. And on top of that, we have some life gain on hit from the claws we're using, so that's pretty handy as well. At this point, if you haven't noticed, I've sped up the video 2 times. I'm not actually this fast while playing the character, although it is a ridiculously fast character, because with all our frenzy charges up while dual wielding, I managed to achieve 5 attacks a second, which is very close to what the non-crit buzzsaw used to do. It used to do, I think, 6 attacks per second, but that was with a foil that had 2.1 attack speed and stacking massive attack speed. So claws in that sense kind of are probably the best choice for buzzsaw builds these days, because they are the fastest, or equal fastest one-hander you can achieve, as well as having life gain on hit. which with your fast attack speed becomes very useful. It's also very useful with Molten Strike. Molten Strike in my setup is my single target when I need it. I don't always use it for single target, but sometimes it's very handy. And I dive in, and it's some very good life gain on hit, especially while dual wielding. I have that attached to Blood Magic, Multi-Strike, faster attacks, and it's just a 4-link at this stage. That had 29k DPS with the dual claw setup. As you can see, still clearing maps pretty well, and you should be, because 16k DPS was what was enough to do everything up to 78 maps back in the olden days for old BuzzClaw. Granted, everything is tankier these days and has more life, but that should scale up as your gear gets better. So here we are on standard with the character at level 77. Not quite sure how it got here, but anyway, at level 77, ended up having 4.3k life, with most of the life passives filled out on the tree. You can go heavier into life if you choose, by branching out to certain other areas, because this is basically as far as I wanted to get with the passive tree. Level 77, and I'm pretty much completed everything I wanted to. I'm probably going just for more damage at this stage through elemental damage, proj nodes, maybe attack speed. But if you really wanted, you could easily branch up and get all of this life. Maybe some other options. This is pretty undesirable talent. Actually, dual sockets, that one there and that one there, can get you some life and is pretty worthwhile doing at this stage. So the passive tree is there, and as I said, claws have a very large attack speed bonus because they are one of the fastest things you can get, 1.6 base, and they have some very solid attack speed nodes. Because claws, just compared to daggers, don't have anywhere near as much crit multi, I am running some face breakers. And face breakers, they end up being really strong if you don't have Malagaras, and Malagaras being as rare and expensive as they are, face breakers kind of just seem like a better option, because these cost me like 2 chaos, and Malagaras cost several exalts, and since I'm very lacking in crit multi, the more crit multi I get at this stage, the better, because my crit's not too bad, something like 65 with 6 attacks or 5 or 6 attacks a second, and then the 60 crit multi is probably the biggest damage upgrade I could achieve. I have a pair of Legacy Malagaras here I can show you the DPS difference with unbuffed. That is, so 46 crit Malagaras, 9.8. They're better by 300, but they're Legacy, so you're not going to get those on a league. So I recommend face breakers as your gloves. Now, this is a type of claw and weapon I'm talking about that you kind of need for Spectral Throw builds now, elemental Spectral Throw builds, because the damage from your auras and heralds just doesn't cut it anymore these days. It cannot alone carry you through. I'm only running Wrath and 2 heralds because that is how I figured out to be the most efficient way of building a elemental crit character these days. But weapons recently had a very large buff to elemental rolls, and you can get more elemental damage on your weapon than ever before. So a weapon like this, while it looks amazing, only cost me 5 chaos on Tempest because there's no real build that utilizes elemental crit claws like this. And same with this one, I bought that one much earlier on because it's only a level 52 one, and that cost me a few chaos once again. But these are pretty much my endgame claws. A lot more attack speed would be highly desired, maybe some crit multi, and better elemental rolls would be perfect. But these, for what they are just amazing, and they'll get you right through the entire game. A helm, a rat's nest would be ideal. They're expensive though, and at this point, using dual claws, I kind of need life, resist, evasion, accuracy on my helm. So something like this cost me 4 chaos, I think, and then I put the evasion on myself. This chest found myself. It's just a shitty 5-link. It doesn't really matter what it does, but a Belly of the Beast could be a good option. High evasion chest, Yes, you could use some other things like a high resire if you fill out some life elsewhere. There's quite a lot of strong options for chests these days. Just a nice belt. I bought this one for a few chaos once again, and 8 chaos I think it was, and put on lightning resist because that's what I needed at the time. You don't really need movement speed on your boots, so these cost almost nothing. I got some boots with res, life, and int because I need int so I can get enough for wrath since it's pretty expensive, as well as my ring having massive int and my neck having massive int. It's kind of int starved build. But you don't really do too much running, you almost exclusively whirl around, especially once you get your frenzy charges built up. Neck, this thing cost me a few chaos, people don't seem to value it too highly. It's pretty good though. Your main things you're looking for are crit multi and weapon elemental damage, but high elemental damage rolls can be good substitutes as well. Crit strikes, accuracy, that's also great. None of my jewelry or gloves have accuracy. The only thing I'm getting accuracy from right now is this helm, but because the pageantry has so much, I still have 90% at level 77. It'll go down a bit more as I level up, but not too much further, and hopefully get a good jewelry upgrade in the meantime. But the jewelry you're looking for right now is a bit of life, some int if you still need it, and elemental rolls. So both of my jewelry pieces have high elemental rolls. And I did some comparisons, and a good high elemental roll, like say the fire or the lightning one here, is worth close to the 30 wed you could get on a ring otherwise. Yet things like this people don't value too highly, just because it's underrated. So this ring I think cost me 8 chaos as well. This one cost me like 5 chaos, I don't even remember. All I can remember is the character in total is about 1 exalt's worth. I found some good deals, and yeah, you just got to look around at poe.xyz at the right time of day and look for certain things that people aren't looking for. So with all this together, I have about 27% evasion, not that high because my chest is absolutely pitiful right now. 30% evasion from acrobatics, that's my defenses, as well as fortify attached to whirling blades. Whirling blades fortify. Ideally you get another green there, and then you can whirl a bit faster while keeping up fortify. Primarily you're a very ranged character, you have quite a bit of projectile speed coming from, I haven't even actually grabbed this one yet, but I will. Coming from this, that's 20 speed, and that's another 10 speed. So you're pretty ranged, but you can jump in with your Molten Strike whenever need be for some good hard hitting and life gain on hit action. I hit 16k DPS with all of this gear and my frenzy charges. When I put on 20 quality gems, for example these 3, so your 3 green gems give you 30% more attack speed. That's a few thousand more DPS. You can go with Herald of Ice, Thunder, Wrath, all level 20 and quality it up, and that's another few thousand DPS. With all of this type of stuff on, and probably another 10 levels, I will be hitting about 26,000 DPS fully buffed, without any other changes to gear. A 6th link, I could say, if you really want to be safe, grab Life Leech and potentially Valpact if you think you need it, but Life Leech by itself should be okay. Alternatively, something like Added Cold, Added Lightning, or Crit Multi. You could also just go with Crit Strikes if you want. It's pretty open to interpretation in my books. Reflect hasn't been an issue with my DPS so far, thanks to my evasion, my acrobatics, and fortify, flasks, all this sort of stuff. Granted, another 10,000 DPS or so, and Reflect might become an issue, but for me it was not. All the way up to level 77 on Tempest, I didn't have much of a problem at all. You saw what killed me, it was basically my reckless playstyle. I hope you don't make those same mistakes. If there's any more questions about the crit elemental BuzzClaw, feel free to fire them away on stream or in YouTube chat, and I'll try and get to them if I know answers or if I can answer those questions. So this was the crit elemental dual wield claw BuzzClaw character. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.